He rides in fast with a mic in hand, boots on the ground, he's taking a stand. Talking top ropes and a steel cage fight, Dr. Love's bringing passion every Saturday night. From Nashville bars to the squared up stage, he's calling out legends, flipping the page with a cowboy hat and a wild red heart. He's been loving wrestling from the very start. Yeah. He's Dr. Love, the American cowboy, taking down hate and bringing the joy. From pile drivers to a power bomb kiss, ain't nothing sweeter than a suplex bliss. Red, white, and boots of flame. Aaron loves wrestling, riding that fame. He's breaking the rules, but he's always true. This cowboy's heart bleeds red, white, and blue. Turn up the heat when the lights go low. He's calling matches like a rodeo show with a rebel soul and a wild man's grin. If you step to the mic, you ain't gonna win. He's got love for the stories and love for the fight. Late night talks under neon lights. He'll walk that line between rough and refined. Dr. Love's got a lariat and a mastermind. Yeah, he's Dr. Love, the American cowboy, running on passion, not just a ploy. With fire in his voice and truth in his eyes, he's calling it live where the legend lies. Red, white, and boots of flame. Aaron loves wrestling, riding that fame. From the buckle to the brawl, he stands so tall. Dr. Love's here to give it his all. So raise your glass to the rebel host, to the cowboy doctor we all love most. From heartbreak heels to fan favorite cheers, he's been riding with wrestling for all these years. Dr. Love, the American cowboy. This ain't just a show, it's a power bomb blow. He rides in fast with a mic in hand, boots on the ground, he's taking a stand. Talking top ropes and a steel cage fight, Dr. Love's bringing passion every Saturday night. From Nashville bars to the squared up stage, he's calling out legends, flipping the page with a cowboy hat and a wild red heart. He's been loving wrestling from the very start. Yeah. Lights go down, the bell's about to ring. veterans in the booth talking about everything from WWE to you, classics and the rest. You know he's got the passion and he's bringing you the best. Aaron loves wrestling, feel that heat. Every finisher pop and heal.
All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Aaron Loves Wrestling podcast, and I'm your host, along with more guests. Most guests I've had on my podcast. Actually, I haven't had 3 yet. I got my friends from the Cheap Sheets podcast, Kicking Out at 2, and the Wrestling Encyclopedia Stampede. I got them all here.
Representing the Wrestle Collectors.
We're all here. We're going to discuss wrestling. Before we get too far, I'm going to let y'all introduce yourselves and where can they follow you real quick and just kind of give everybody a little introduction of who you are. So we'll start with from the chair shots.
Well, from the cheap seats.
Cheap seats, my bad. I don't know.
It's no biggie.
Take a chair shot for some reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Branson from the Cheap Seats podcast. Here today to talk about something that much of the room here has grown up on, which is the 80s golden era of wrestling. I am a 2-time Iraqi war veteran through the United States Air Force.
Appreciate it.
As well, a lifelong wrestling fan. And this cavalcade right here, this whole box right here, we have a wealth of professional wrestling knowledge. And I'm going to let the other two gentlemen here speak their piece.
All right.
Go for it.
Mike.
Well, I am Mike with Kicking Out of 2. I am normally seated beside my partner, Tori. We're over at Twitter at Kicking Out of 2. You can find out everything about us there. I've been a wrestling fan since I can remember, watching WrestleMania 2 on my dad's knee.
Ooh.
And just, I don't know, like I never had that dip that people talk about. They go, well, there was a time I stopped watching. No, I just kept watching through the good and the bad.
I won't lie. When Shawn Michaels retired, I stopped for a few months. That was my boy. But he retired. And I did for a little while, but I got back into it.
And I am a long-time wrestling fan. I go back to, I started watching probably around 1980. So long time. Up here in Canada, I'm the unofficial mayor of Canada, as you've probably seen on the timeline. You can follow me at Stampede_ism and also at Dub-C Worldwide through the Wrestle Collector.
No, Wrestling Collector. Dub-C Worldwide. Was that on? Is that on X as well?
We do podcasts every Thursday, and we are on X. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all go subscribe and follow these awesome guys. I'm glad we got to talk in, and I know I'm the youngest one in the room, but filled with wrestling knowledge here, and I appreciate it because when I heard my dad talk about Territory Days, because his favorite in the Territory Days, he would talk about Dr. Death Steve Williams. He'd talk about, of course, you cannot talk about Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So there's a lot of my dad talked about. His favorite, though, from the old school WWF was Macho Man. He was a big Macho Man fan. So he liked the, oh, yeah. So he liked
Macho Man. Because one of the promotions that I got started with was down here in Atlantic, Canada.
Really?
Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling. There's a wrestler down here called Leaping Laney, who later turned into the Genius over at WWF.
What?
But Macho Man wrestled down here. Rick Flair was down here. But that's how I got my start. Atlantic Grand Prix, and then I kind of over to Stampede Wrestling, hence the name, and then I eventually get into stuff that was going down south of the border as I got a little bit older.
Good old home of Bret Hart and half the family Hart.
Oh man, the people that's I got to see in Stampede Wrestling, like before they hit WWF, like Bret Hart, Benoit, Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy,
Hmm.
Hillman, Bad News Allen. Like it was just there was so much talent that came out of that territory, which was amazing. And to see them that early on in their career, just
Back to training with Stu was like that was the litmus test, right? So you go to Stu, and if Stu is okay with you, he'll stretch you, and then you'll get out there good. But
yeah.
Oh, I mean, we sat for years, and I'm speaking on behalf of me, Mike, and Stampede here. I can remember the U.S. tag team titles. And honestly, I wish they would bring those back. I don't care
NWA
which
Power
company.
did. NWA Power has. If you watch NWA Power on Tuesday on Roku channel, they brought it back. They got the U.S. tag team
I
title.
get to watch them every once in a while. A little busy with some things offline, but I mean,
Yeah.
Corrigan's done real well to at least continue the NWA name.
Well, they actually have brought their own version of the territory days back. They got like NWA Texas, and then there's a couple other uh, smaller companies joined in. And I enjoy watching NWA Power. I've been watching, especially the past few months since they've been on Roku channel. I used to watch on YouTube, but it's kind of like I don't know, just didn't feel I guess the same when it first started. And now, like when they have the red and white blue ropes, I miss red and white blue ropes. I miss
Oh
it.
yeah.
There's just so I don't know. I guess nostalgia to it, and attraction to it. Just the plain white ropes. I don't like the blend. I want to see some color. So I love how the NWA brought that back with the red, white, blue ropes, red, white, blue NWA logo, and then they have different promotions involved, like it's a territory type wrestling days. And they brought back some old school type wrestling type like characters. Like this guy named Thrill Billy, and I mean he kind of reminds me of old school Magnum. And I'm just like, this is a pretty cool wrestling company. So I started getting more into it. I love how they keep the old school style. They don't have as many matches, like sometimes with like 2 or 3 within the hour, but it's still good wrestling. And I love how they focus on tag team wrestling. They got the Crockett Cup going on. So I love how they focus on that, brought back the US tag team titles. So I just love NWA Power. So hopefully it can get a little bit bigger than what it is now. But when I see their crowd, I mean they got a good crowd each time I'm watching.
And the Crockett
So
Cup back in the day, I always gravitated towards that. I always liked that. And this gentleman in our chat there mentioned Owen Hart too. Owen would have been another guy that I got to see early on in his career
hmm
through Stampede.
yeah, the Hart family have a lot of man. They got a lot of good history behind them, and they're one of the greatest wrestling families in professional wrestling, in my opinion. With Brett Owen, and now you got Natalia. I mean, I wish
So
Natalia would be treated a little better than what she has been in WWE.
Bruce
But
would be another one. Bruce Hart. His contributions to
mhm.
that territory up there often go unnoticed. But,
British Bulldog's related to him, eh?
Well, yeah.
yeah,
marriage, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was cool.
I mean,
Uh,
Smith. People forget about Smith Hart.
Smith Hart,
yeah.
yes, Smith Hart.
I mean, at Survivor Series, the Hart family tag team. Um, the thing about it is the Hart family. Um, no slight to the McMahons, the Guerreros, but if you think about it, the Hart family is the true first professional family of professional wrestling
Hmm.
for as many generations as they have had on television, and probably, I mean, I think Brett Bulldog's kids are still involved. Uh, Roddy Piper, Roddy Piper was a dungeon disciple,
Mhm.
if I'm
His
correct. Stampede.
daughter
Um,
and great or
Yeah.
granddaughter's
Well,
wrestling
Roddy
now.
came out of Winnipeg initially. Like
yeah.
that's where he was born. But here's a live example, right? Like I said, I got to see Dynamite Kid like so
Ah,
early on in his career, and now I get to see Tommy Billington and the
hmm
parallels, like between where Tommy is now and when I first saw him,
Yeah.
It's amazing the similarities and the
Oh
comparisons
yeah,
between the two.
and his daughter. His daughter's valet right now, I think. But I
I
mean,
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of historical families in wrestling that a lot of people don't know because a lot of people are just used to WWE. You know, that's pretty much all they know. They don't know about territory days or NWA, AWA, WCCW, Stampede. They don't know about a lot of that stuff, or if they do, they're not a fan of it because I guess it's not the
It depends on
Hollywood
what you would
production
have
type.
came in through the wrestling door, right? Like if you came in through an era where it was just primarily WWE because they were the big
Mhm.
dog and pretty much the only dog in America. That's
Yeah,
what you would have grown up on. Now I came in
hmm
through different doors because just give you
it
the
wouldn't.
yeah. So when I did get down to the States, it wasn't WWF that first attracted me. It was NWA.
yeah,
It was Dusty and Funk and Race and Flair and Magnum TA when he got there. All those guys. That's what's interested me. And then I get into like WCCW. Then I found Bruiser Road. Then I was like, I love this. Like
And
Bruiser was
that's what
the
I
guys that really, really reeled me in.
and that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I started on was WWE. But as soon as I think around probably 19 or 2020 is when I really started expanding to like when AEW came along and I started seeing, okay, where's this guy from? Like, oh, New Japan. Let me go check that out. And I started seeing some Wrestle Kingdom. Um, and then I've done a lot of research like with WCW, WCCW, NWA, AWA, Mid South, Memphis. And I'm like, man, this was some good stuff back then. Like I was like, kind of wish I grew up in that time. Uh,
Well,
so when I say the old
is
school
very
stuff, it's like,
similar to it. It's just everything is more instantaneous now.
yeah,
hmm
Like I could, like the shows that went on last night, like Worlds Collide, SmackDown, GCW shows.
hmm
I can go on a website and find out exactly what happened, who won, the match times instantly. Right back in the day, you had to wait for your issue at PWI or Observer to come out, and you had to flip to the back and say who won, and then they did the rankings, and like you really had to be patient back then to follow
oh
along.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and VHS tapes were your friend,
yeah.
and a second VCR because you
especially
got
during the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars. Because some people they record one and watch the other.
oh yeah, you had your two VCRs, you were watching, you were taping and watching, and then you
Mhm.
trade it, and it's like, but that's how it was, right?
Yeah.
The back and forth to the video store, and what's in, and the way you went. Right? But there's a lot of
That's the mystique of that time period, though. Of like, you'd have the world champion come into a territory. They'd have 7 matches in a week. We only knew about one of them because they would only print whatever the last run was while they were there. But they could have, lost the title 3 or 4 times while they were there.
hmm
We had you had to be there. You couldn't just jump on a website, watch the link, or read the cage report or anything. You couldn't do any of that.
Mhm.
It was you had to be there to know.
You had to buy a ticket.
I mean, back in the day, PWI, all you had to do was open up the magazine, tear off the subscription thing, and it was like, I think $1. So like $12 a year
Mhm.
just to get. Now, I mean, we have it to where Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, X, Y, and Z of social
Streaming
media.
sites.
Yeah. And I love the fact that PWI still does the PWI 500 because honestly, if we open up now versus, let's say, 1987, when it was Flair and Steamboat and Macho, we can kind of compare that era to this era now and go, okay, who's our Flair? Who's our Steamboat, Macho,
yeah,
Hulk? You know, um, and that's the beauty of the internet now. I mean, but thankfully, we're at least remembering where we came from to where we're getting to now.
Hmm.
Um, I think something was funny about the WWE does the WWE Vault now,
Mhm.
and their one of their most recent YouTube uh, matches was the actual whole card of the Battle of Atlanta, I think, the Buzz Sawyer Tommy Rich match, but they were able to find the whole card. And I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with Dave LaGreca over at Busted Open.
Yes,
Um,
love him.
and that he says that is the match, that very moment, that made him a fan.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you were able to see the Omni back then, the Omni still was smoke filled, just like the name of this podcast is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is it's not just the wrestling matches that attracted us; it's the environment. I mean, I growing up in Texas, and obviously Steve Williams and Bill Watts are
Welcome.
enemy names. That portion of the vacuum up north. With them, I grew up on the Freeman Coliseum, the aforementioned drum down there at Frank Irwin Center, which is now becoming a medical center or medical school for UT. I've even been to the Summit, to Reunion. As a kid, I was able to go to the Sportatorium. 3-year-old kid. My grandfather drove from Illinois, spent time with us and the family, went up to Dallas, and we got to see Kerry Von Erich and the Von Erich family, as well as Gino Fernandez. And,
Well, there's a name I haven't heard of. Gino.
Yeah, and the Sportatorium. If you walked into that place back then, it was like walking into Notre Dame or the National Cathedral in D.C. Those were special places for fans. Freeman. I mean, you had Jose Lothario and Paul Bosch throw shows between Houston and San Antonio back then. So, I mean, Texas
for that today, as far as venues go, would be Corbin.
Mm-hmm. I mean, think about this.
That's
Canadian. Oh yeah, think about this. Winnipeg, Edmonton, Calgary. I mean, I could sit there and match them up with San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas, and even El Paso and Amarillo if you're going to bring in the Funks here or the Guerreros. But these three cities, some of the best professional wrestling classics took place in those 6 cities. I mean, Stampede could give you a big history on what Canada has brought us and the wealth they give us now.
Well, look at Maple Leaf Pro. Like Scott has resurrected that.
Oh, I love Maple Leaf Pro.
Good old Tunney promotion back in the day.
That's right.
Back on the go. They got a lot of people working with them.
Another Tony in the wrestling business.
And that's what happened back in the day. Like when I would tune into AWA, I didn't know who was going to be on there. Right? Like I remember the first time I seen the Road Warriors, it was in AWA. I was like, who are these guys, man? I would have probably for 13
Kurt Hennig.
Time. Kurt Hennig, Nick Bockwinkel, Jerry Lawler showed. I'm like Jerry Lawler.
Rick Rude.
When Jerry Lawler showed up,
yeah,
you still remember it. It's like, okay, I like this guy.
Yeah,
Ric Flair even showed up every once in a while in AWA.
So it have that ripple effect.
Yeah,
like you see a guy for the first time. Okay, I like him. Now, where else can I find him? So you pick up your PWI. Like, oh, he's in Memphis. Right? Okay, now I got to get some Memphis tapes, right? Because of that, I started getting into Memphis a little bit, and I found Jeff Jarrett. I found Jeff Jarrett when he first started.
And he was a referee.
Yeah.
What?
Like,
a referee?
Yep.
Like
I didn't know that.
Whole career, because of that. Right? So,
Yeah.
I did not know he was a referee when he first started.
Yeah. If I remember right, his dad didn't want him to actually wrestle. So that's why he had to start. Like he started from the bottom.
Huh.
USWA.
I love Jeff Jarrett. He's cool.
I even think what was it when WCCW sold off, and I think it became Galaxy Championship Wrestling or Global Championship Wrestling or something along those lines for a couple of years that you could catch on ESPN or whatever local channel back in the day. I mean, and they were still shooting in the Sportatorium for a little while, but it was or they would go from the Sportatorium to, I think, Center Stage before WCW started using Center Stage. You know, you could watch those shows and you're like, oh, Jeff Jarrett, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker. You know, those names before they even
Florida Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
A lot of people came up through that.
the Grams.
Yeah, well, Lex Luger.
Oh,
right?
Grams.
That's where you first would have seen him at.
Mhm.
But I remember the Blade Runners. You know,
And that's one thing I like
Ultimate
about
Warrior and Sting. You know,
Or the
that's
Dingo Warrior.
The Dingo Warrior, yeah.
Yeah.
that's one thing I like about AEW and Tony Khan. They partner with these companies. They don't worry about owning them or things got to be his way or something like that. Like he partners with New Japan. He partners with CMLL, Maple Leaf, Rev Pro, and it's like, you know, that's one thing I like about AEW is that a lot of people give me a lot of negative comments about it, but it's, you know, and I guess in some ways, like it come off, I guess, tribalistic when I defend AEW, but it's just because I don't want to see them go out of business and I don't want to see one company take over. And that's why I guess because I'm passionate about wrestling. I love wrestling.
I think there's a difference between, and it's ironic that this conversation comes up today, not just for wrestling, but for other things going on in society. If you're defending what you like versus someone who says your thing sucks, to me, that's not tribalism. It's the people that go, well, this is better than that, and here's why, that they'll never beat that. Like, we're not asking them to beat each other. We're asking them to give us good wrestling. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Give me more good stuff. I will. I ended up getting a Triller account because I didn't even know that was a thing. So I'm watching like GCW and all these like territory
GCW.
things, and it's like, oh my god,
I
I,
saw
didn't
them
even know this
live.
was out there.
Yeah.
Give me more. Let me see more. I fell in love with Kid Bandit. She was our first interview on our podcast because like I saw a match of hers and I'm like, oh my god, she's awesome.
Yeah.
And to see how Kid Bandit went from where she was when she first jumped into the game to now, I mean, oh yeah, she's a great talent, and you know that's the thing is wrestling is for Aaron. I know you get flack and crap from the internet and from Twitter.
Oh yeah.
And we three, you know, are happy to defend you. But that's the thing is when WCW and ECW disappeared and the territories were all swallowed up by Vince back in the 90s and
Yes.
early 2000s, you know, for as much as people would hate on Jeff Jarrett and Vince Russo and eventually Dixie Carter for bringing back TNA, and then Gabe Sapolsky with Ring of Honor, and, you know, Ohio Valley Wrestling. Think about what we got out of Ohio Valley Wrestling as a hub for WWE developmental, but long before NXT. You know, we are at the precipice of yet another era ending very soon with John Cena out, Batista's gone, Randy and Brock are really and I forget Shelton Benjamin. Don't let me forget that gentleman. Shelton Benjamin's the only man to have ever beaten Brock Lesnar in a legitimate wrestling match. Or I think maybe one of three. So, you know, we're about to lose that era, which if we forget the past, we're doomed to repeat what we see now is this tribalism or somebody sitting there going, you know, AEW sucks. Well, guess what? It's not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Not everything is going to be booked or directed at you,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right? You know, like Mike says all the time, right? It's a buffet. It most certainly is. You know, and one thing I find, and I really like this, and it's reignited my passion for it. But back in the day, like I mentioned earlier, it was that ripple effect. You know, you'd see one person, and then you'd go find them, and find other people on that journey. When 2019 hit, and you know, it's like what AEW was partnering with New Japan, and it's like that ripple effect started happening again. you would find someone there, and it's like, oh, they're going to Rev Pro. Okay, let's check out Rev Pro.
Mhm.
Right? It's like, oh, Rev Pro. What E? What's E? Like, let's go check that out. Right?
Mhm.
And that, you just go from one to the other to the other. It's like the stepping stone. Right? But
Which I
that's
love
what,
Red Pro and GCW.
yeah,
They're
it's just
great.
so much more accessible.
And it's
than it was back.
it's great that it's so accessible to us now, because like you talk about the ripple effect. With me, it was Shinsuke. When Shinsuke showed up in
Yeah.
NXT, I was like, oh, they talk about this dude and he's in New Japan, so let me go look at that stuff. That led me to Kenny Omega. So then when AEW started coming around, I knew who Kenny Omega was now, and I'm like, oh, that's great that they got him.
Mhm.
Which brought me to the Young Bucks, the Bullet Club. Like it just snowballed
Hangman.
into there's all these other guys that I'm like, oh my god, these guys are amazing. Why are they not on a big TV screen somewhere?
Well, I mean, TNA had Kazuchika Okada, and I mean, I think Kenta was even on TNA before he was ever NXT.
It was Impact.
Yep.
And that's the thing is it's like looking at a family tree, or I mean, we make the joke about the bloodline tree, but wrestling in itself is one giant family tree. Yeah, there are a lot of dysfunctional branches, but
a lot
you know,
of them.
but you can play the six what do they call that game? Six something of Kevin Bacon or something. And in all honesty, you know, the smorgasbord or the buffet, as previously mentioned, you know, it's so good now. I mean, if you go to an independent show, and I get to go up to Bedford near Dallas, I get to go down to Houston to go see those shows for reality wrestling. I've even seen first two Metroplex wrestling shows that Athena has put out.
Which, if you're in Texas, go check out League of Lions. They're in.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wish
Right,
Thunder Rosa would resurrect Mission Pro, but money is the way it is right now. But you have River City Wrestling in San Antonio, and those brands, those companies, they don't play the tribalism rule. I mean, yeah, okay, you work for TNA, you work for AEW, you work for WWE, but come in and put somebody over as well. Get yourself over.
And that's what I loved about the old school days was you had a lot of that. There was one world champion, and it traded promotions. They drop it to one guy over there or this guy over there, and that's why I loved it. When I look at the history of that, it's like, man, because I don't know, I just don't like the fact of two world champions.
Hey, Aaron, real quick, something Stampede said. The 7 days that a talent would show up, at least one of those 7 days was a Broadway match, was a 60-minute Iron Man.
Oh, I love 60-minute Iron Man matches.
Oh yeah, and
I wish it would be more of a thing.
Like one of those ones that's to me was the Flair versus Brody. They went out. Like, wow. It's such difference. Like Flair was so different than what Bruiser, but it worked.
I could still go back and go watch Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels Iron Man match. That match was amazing.
You got to think, Brody back then, I mean, the godfather of hardcore wrestling versus somebody who he could grapple with you because that's how he grew up as a wrestler.
Yeah.
But he could also make Brody look like $1 billion with the finesse that Ric Flair used when he was in the ring. Same thing with Sting. I think it's long been said that Sting is Ric Flair's life partner when it comes to professional wrestling. And that's no hit on Harley, Dusty, Hogan. But
Flair put Sting over.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we all remember that match at Clash of Champions in '88.
Love that.
A 45-minute classic that went to a draw.
Well, the imprint that Ric Flair has left on this industry, understated. Without him, we don't get Sting probably to the degree that we did. The Four Horsemen, that was
Hogan
for all these groups and factions that we see today.
I mean,
they were the originators.
If you think about it, when he jumped from WCW or NWA at the time to WWF. And Hogan and him would cross paths, but they would never really had a feud during their time up there. If it wasn't for Ric Flair when he came back to WCW and doing all that stuff with Kevin Sullivan and resurrecting the Horsemen and fighting against the NWO, could we really be sitting there saying that Hogan was Babe Ruth? Because you gotta have to have Lou Gehrig, even though we all know what happened to Lou Gehrig, to really have in the same argument Babe Ruth.
Right.
It takes more than one to tango.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you want to go back even further, you know, when Hogan first burst on the scene in WWF, right, if it wasn't for Piper, that's not nearly as big as it was. You know, Piper was the engine that drove that.
Oh yeah,
Was the guy that like the main centerpiece of it, but Piper was the engine.
Let alone Piper and Flair's matches.
Mm-hmm.
If people go look them up, Piper is well more skilled than the sleeper hold that he just threw on to finish a match.
Mm-hmm. Well, that match he had with Brad a while, but like, was it a SummerSlam or Survivor Series?
I was just going to bring up that match. Yeah, it wasn't long. It was only like 12 minutes and change.
Like he wasn't. It wasn't hold for hold necessarily, because I mean, Brett is fantastic at catch as catch can, but he definitely was no schlub. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Brett and Piper at WrestleMania 8, the Intercontinental Championship match.
That's what I was thinking about.
I mean, it was sleeper hold, sharpshooter. It was a true catch as catch can submission grappling match that they threw together. I think, honestly, a tribute to Bret Stad Stu in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he still gets paid homage to it. Like, look at the match MJF had with Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was a
sleeper
direct homage to him, to Piper and Balor. You know, like, if you put those two matches side by side, there's so much similarities.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
but that's
a
like
lot of people, like,
don't forget where you came from.
Yeah.
That's, you know, you always remember what got you there. You know, those are the things that got us here.
NXT had a match recently that was move for move, or at least segment for segment in that match, and I think it was I forget the pay-per-view, but it was almost mirrored a Shawn Michaels. I think it was Shawn Michaels Bret Hart without the Iron Man stipulation. Like
Oba Femi and Javon Evans?
No.
Which
I think it was
PLA, I'm trying to think.
I think it was a Ricky Starks match. It might have been the first Ricky Starks Ethan Page match.
Yeah, I was just going to say Ricky Starks Ethan Page match you're thinking of.
Yeah, that was a good match. That was a really good match.
But Shawn paid tribute to those in that. Like the way he books, like he hauls out the greatest hits book, right?
Which that's why I think Shawn Michaels to me is a better
His
booker.
greatest hits book is pretty good.
Shawn Michaels to me is the best booker.
I mean, it's about that long, you know. It goes about 3 miles down the road.
Yeah. Like I do miss, you know, submission matches. I miss Iron Man matches. I miss a lot of those classic matches we used to have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there used to be a lot of those good stipulation type matches, and now we get the regular, or it's Extreme Rules, or it's, you know, no DQ or no hold barred, or it's like, let's see some classic brought back. Let's see an Iron Man match brought back. You know, and it might be more than likely it's just the attention span. A lot of people, they don't sit through those anymore. They get distracted by their phones or something like that.
Well, there are stipulation matches. You just have they don't all happen in one place.
Well, I mean the classics, you know, like Iron Man. Some of the ones we don't normally see, that we don't see much anymore like we used to, like Iron Man and submission. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I haven't seen an Iron Man match since Bryan and MJF, right? So that's when I saw.
Yeah. I think that's the one that's really kind of fallen to the wayside in most bigger companies, and it is because like it's cramming an hour match on your TV, and that's taking up an hour of time that you could be selling more stuff, doing more stuff. Like,
True.
so they're really kind of pushing that away because of that, and the attention span's part of it too. Like, they try to say that attention span's not a problem, but like it is. Like, people very easily now switch back to their phone. I'll even say I do it. Like, I'll sit there and watch Raw. Like, halfway through the match, I'm like, all right, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Just start scrolling.
Or like when I go watch a baseball game, like most people, they're not even watching the game. Or
people forget that, you know, these stipulation matches, and Mike and Stampede, you can back me up on this. Stipulation matches were purely back in the day blow-off matches for a feud. And if you had a steel cage, let's say Hell in a Cell, War Games, you either came in there with a faction or it was a singles match, blow-off. As to where, you know, Vince, towards the end of his time before TKO, would just feed you whatever. I mean, the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view was the worst decision ever, because Hell in the Cell was a blow-off, a grudge match blow-off. Look at Punk and McIntyre. And Punk
Shawn
and
Michaels
McIntyre,
and Triple H, when they did that 2 out of 3 falls, and last one was a Hell in a Cell.
with the exception of Kane, Punk and McIntyre was Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. Bad Blood. You know, that's and mind you, we're talking about in your house Bad Blood. I mean, I think my favorite WWE pay-per-view of all time is In Your House Canadian Stampede. But, you know, giving Stampede down there some respect. But, I mean, to sit there and see the whole Hart family, to see Stu and Helen in there getting their flowers. You know, it didn't matter if, I think it was Ahmed Johnson, I forget who the American tag team was. But, you know, at the end of it, you know, and now if you go back to, was it Peacock, when they acquired the WWE network properties, I mean, one of the best things I can go watch is Stampede now. You know, and Canadian professional wrestling, American professional wrestling, I'd throw Canadian before I throw American. And this is an American saying that. So
they got a lot of good wrestling.
A lot of talent that it is high-end talent. But to go back to the Iron Man match, the last one I remember that wasn't technically one would have been MJF and Ospreay, because they went an hour, I think, on the Dynamite. It just wasn't billed as an Iron Man match. Kind of turned into one. But I think the wildest one I seen, I think I sent it to you, Mike, was that Death Pain Invitational, El Desperado and Jun Kasai. Like, that was insane. They had light tubes, panes of glass, like every glass, literally glass in the ring. You know, but that's a really wild stipulation. But that was something that came right out of the 80s. It's like, I could see this in 1984. You know, that's what it looked like.
Yep. I mean, the good old death match.
There used to be blow-offs, you know, like Magnum TA and Tully in the cage, right? That was, you know, Flair and Funk, I quit. There's your blow-off. But when you make a whole pay-per-view out of it, it's not so much a natural progression. It's okay, that's where this is going. Like, it just doesn't feel like
I mean, you had Sting and Flair versus Funk and Muta back in the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
And thank God for, you know, the great Muta, or Kenji Muto, putting out that fire on the cage with his
But that's the other thing this does too. Like, and it was back in the territory days. Like, find someone, and you know, they might be a little further on in their career, but you know, it's like, okay, what else can I find? A lot easier to do now. You know, and you can backtrack their career. You know, and kind of see. Ishii would be one. Like, people see him in AEW, and it's like there's North American Ishii. Like my friend Advocate says, he's kind of walking around. He doesn't know why he's there, and he just kind of shows up and he has a match. And then there's New Japan Ishii, different guy. So if you find him and you go back and you watch, it's like, wow, he had this with Omega and he had this with Tanahashi. And just an amazing catalog, you know, that you stumbled upon. So.
Same thing with Nakamura.
And I would say
Mhm.
with Jeff Cobb too. Look at him in WWE. I mean, dude, Japan, he was amazing.
Yep.
Banger matches over there. And in
Oh,
WWE,
Jeff Cobb's cousin, JC McHale.
yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, Jeff Cobb, an Olympian. I mean, how many
Mhm.
professional wrestlers do we have now or in the past that were Olympians?
Very few. You got Kurt
And,
Angle. That's the main one.
Tyra May Steele or
Mhm.
Tamara Mensah. I forget her last
Steel.
name.
Without Steel.
Tavion Heights.
Yeah. Chad
I
Gable,
think
right? Chad Gable's one.
Anthony, Chad Gable's one. Anthony Agogo,
Uh-huh.
and that, mind you, is a boxer,
Mm-hmm.
but he fought for Britain. And George Hackenschmidt. That's a name that he was an Olympian. He's the grandfather of all professional wrestling, if you want to be honest with it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know one major difference back in the day
We got mommy in the chat.
and now would be the women's wrestling scene.
Oh yeah,
Because back then it was, for the most part, non-existent. Like it just wasn't a focal point anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But now, my God, like the women outperform the men. Like, I watch a lot of women's wrestling because I'm into Stardom and like all those places, right? So I watch a lot. But what they do in the ring and the stories that they tell and the way they tell them, they are on par, if not better than men.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's consistent.
Yeah.
It is consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things they do that it kind of drift off, but a lot of their stuff, it's consistent. A lot of people say it's not, but do you watch every week? What I was saying to a friend of mine the other day was like, it's like a TV show. You watch the first, let's say, 3 to 4 seasons of a TV show. You stop watching for 2 to 3 seasons. Now you come back to season 8. Now, the last time you watched, this guy didn't like this guy, but now they're best friends, and this girl didn't like this guy, but now they're married, and it's like, what did I miss? And it's kind of, in my opinion, when you go away from watching something for so long, I'm sure there's people that haven't watched WWE in a long time. They come back and watch WWE now, they're like, okay, who's that?
It's like Daffy Duck trying to find Planet X on a map.
Yeah.
Go over here, come down there, come right back here.
Yep.
And a lot of times, professional wrestling now more caters to casuals than it does the hardcore fan.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
there's my boy Advocate. Hey, Advocate.
That's a blessing for AEW. That while people say that they serve a niche audience, sometimes to know where we're going, you kind of have to throw back to where we came from. And I think Tony does that well.
Yeah. I mean, look what he did with Taz in the 2300 Arena.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved if he got pretty much everybody, Sandman and whoever would agree to come, and he'd just put all their banners up there. And who knows? Maybe over time he might do it with them to someone else.
He did it with Eddie Gilbert too after the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Sting was there.
And like they had a whole thing, and Eddie, like back in the day, like that hot stuff. Like he was a guy that I would kind of gravitate towards. Like this guy's cool. I was a lot younger at the time. But like he respects the history of the industry, and he doesn't forget any of it. I don't know how. But he takes that with him. Like he incorporate that into things that he does in the present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the Triple H or Maricel Pena or even Tommy Dreamer down there in TNA have forgotten where they came from. But those companies, very few, unless you watched Worlds Collide last night. Mascarita Sagrada. I grew up watching Mascarita Sagrada. He's 60-something years old. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Saw him in a Royal Rumble. I think it was the Royal Rumble in San Antonio in 1997 when they had several AAA or CMLL talent come up. I think Mil Mascaris and Alberto Del Rio's father even was a part of that Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
Now,
I I remember Mill being in it. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember him being in it because he eliminated himself.
exactly.
He
but
went in, did some stuff, and then just jumped out. I'm done.
he's like, you know what? I see Austin over there. I'm not getting stunned today. I'm gonna go jump on whoever's on the floor. I'm
Yeah.
good.
He eventually did a Gail Kim. I'm out. Bye.
Which see, correct me. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. So a podcast mentioned that CMLL is like the oldest wrestling promotion in the world, like 90 years or something like that. Is that
Oh yeah,
true?
they've been around forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
They're older than I am.
really?
Yeah, that's old, man.
So it's
Yeah.
like when I watch their shows, like I've been watching them quite a bit, or what I can, like highlights and stuff. I would love to watch a full show, but I haven't seen where to find that yet. But I watch on YouTube some, I guess, replays, and man,
Mhm.
their matches are great, and they got always like every time I watch, they got packed arena every single time, at least 10,000 it looks like, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, and then the podcast that said about it, he said that they have 7 straight shows this year so far, the most of any promotion that with 17,000 straight shows, 17,000 fans showing up. And it's like, man, these guys, they just put on wrestling matches, and everybody shows up. But wrestling like that is big in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And CMLL is very, very steeped in history and tradition.
Yes.
Like like if you watch CMLL and you watch AAA, it's very
Mhm.
different. Like,
Yes.
well, pretty much everything. Little shout out to someone in the chat there. They got a ticket to Dynamite in Manchester, England. I'm telling you,
Oh, okay. Manchester,
you fans
England.
over there, like I'm going to give you guys a shout out because every show that I have ever seen out of England, the fans in those arenas are just off the charts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
They-
it's
They
the
sound like
fervor.
they're 20,000 strong, and there could be a couple thousand people in that building.
Yeah,
Just
it's
amazing.
the fervor of like they don't get those big shows, and so like
Yeah.
when they get there, like they show up and they show out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for any show though. Like if you tune into a Rev Pro show, like those fans are wild, man. Like I
Mhm.
watch, like I subscribe to Eve on YouTube. It's an all women's promotion. It's
Oh,
same-
Eve. Yeah, I've seen some of their stuff.
Yeah, like but the shows are wild, man. Like they'll do burlesque show intermissions, 2 of them per show. I've never seen that on a wrestling show before, and I was like, "This is amazing, man! I'm so entertained by this." But that's that ripple effect. You
Yeah.
find things as you go.
Yes.
Advocate pointed out, what was it, the 63 suplex last night?
From Brody, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that clip, and I was just like,
Yeah.
And
And
this
Brodito, they're a better team than I thought. Like at first I saw them paired, I was like, I don't like I love them both. But I was like, it's kind of odd. But now it's just like, bro, I love them as a tag team. They're awesome.
and Brody came out with the Bandito mask on too,
Yes.
so that was a nice.
Yeah.
They need to
And I'm
rethink
curious
the
where we
chicken
go
spot
when-
they did though.
yeah.
I'm curious where we go when Buddy comes back though. Like,
Well,
is he's
I
gonna be
think
added to the
Buddy's
mix,
going.
or-
I think Buddy ends up joining his wife in WWE.
Think so?
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean, you look at it this way, WWE is kind of, and I'm not missing out on Alicia and MJF here, or some of the other talent, Juice and Tony X, Y, and Z. But yeah, it just seems that more talent that are married
mhm.
are ending up in the same place.
Well, Andrade and Charlotte did that. Look how that turned out.
Well, but I mean, you have.
I just saw a report that he's gone. So
Yeah,
Yeah, now he's
But-
gone.
He's gone. Yeah, that's an accurate report. He's gone.
but the thing about it is, somebody was sitting on there before we even got up on here today that there was a reason that
Oh,
was
Buddy signed a new
unfortunate.
contract last year.
But I mean, look at Steve and Deanna. You know,
Anything
Steve
else?
Macklin, Deanna. You know,
Yeah.
talk about a woman who is in the wrong era, but that's not a slight on her. That she's in the wrong era of professional wrestling. Deanna Purrazzo would have probably been in the 80s, probably up there with Sherry and Medusa or
Mhm.
Alundra Blaze.
Oh,
And I hope we
Deanna
get
would
to
have
see
come out.
Steve Macklin in AEW.
Yeah. Definitely, she would have.
Yeah, I would even say further back, like you go the Mae Young days,
Oh yeah,
and I think she would have killed it in that time period. But it's
Well-
just they can't find what it is for her to latch onto to get the fans
Oh, yeah.
into it.
I think this Ring of Honor Pure Women's Championship would be the one. I think so.
Well,
she's
here's
very
some-
technically sound, right? So that title and those styles of matches, very much suited her. They
Did
just
any
gotta
of us-
build up that division around her.
Did any of us besides me see Queen of the Ring? The milk.
Yeah.
So, and Mike can attest to this. You know, and NWA has done an ultimate respect to Mildred Burke, especially having AEW, WWE, TNA, X, Y, and Z talent that played roles in that movie. Trinity, Camille, Tony Storm. I'm forgetting a few others, and I know they were indie talents, not big names, but they came in and filled these roles and looked great. I forget who played Mae Young in that movie, but
I'd have to look it up.
May, I mean, the fact that Mae Young got a nod in that movie, he didn't bring up Moolah at all.
Moodle's a bit of a topic. So
Yeah, exactly.
they're probably smart to steer clear of that.
But I mean, you know, Queen of the Ring and NWA honoring their women's championship by calling that championship the Burke. You know, if WWE and AEW and X, Y, and Z would do that, you know, hey, I don't know if I want to call the World Championship in WWE the Hogan, but
That
you know,
term's so old.
or we can call it the Cena now, since Cena's held it 17 times.
Exactly. But the people that call someone who's over so much, oh, so and so Hogan, so and so is like, what
So
is
tired
wrong
of
with
that.
someone? I know what is wrong with someone being I guess I would say that like the backbone of the division or company or something. Like that's what you want, you know, whether it be Mercedes or Rhea or you know, it's funny how it's mainly the women. Like nobody's saying Roman Hogan. Nobody's saying that.
They're going to draw people in.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well,
Tony
they recently
Storm will
put that
draw people
on.
in.
They recently put that on Sammy. They're calling him Sammy Hogan now, and it's like he's won like 3 out of the last 16 matches he's had.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like what the heck?
He got the U.S. title and then finally started winning matches.
Or you know, going back to nods, Flair and Sting. Real quick on that, what would Flair call Sting? The flagship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the flagship of WCW. To be in that tier, to be in that position,
Exactly.
as far as okay, hey, Sting had a great career. Sting never went and honestly, excuse my language, shit on anybody. I mean, hell, he didn't have to make Jeff Hardy look like $1 million,
No.
but he did. Even though
Mhm.
Jeff Hardy should not have been in a ring during that match, but Sting didn't shit on him.
Mm-mm.
And
He was disappointed.
Yeah,
Which I mean, we all were. Like,
And
You
to
know?
your point earlier of remembering where you came from, Sting is a perfect example of that. Like Sting did not forget what Flair did for him. Flair took him under his wing and progressed him along. Right.
oh yeah,
Fast forward to when Sting showed up in AEW. Right. Who did he take up under his wing? Darby. 3 years.
Yeah.
And look at Darby now. So
but look at all the other talk about the tree again. Look at all the other pieces that Sting was able to connect to between AEW, WWE, and his time in AEW. Him and Punk, him and FTR, close to the end, Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland didn't get a cup of coffee with Sting during that 14-15 run because of his neck.
Mhm.
So for them all to pay homage to such a legend, And people are going to sit there and hold Flair and Hogan. I think an undervalued Mount Rushmore talent is Sting, because he was able, like Undertaker, to ride the wave and change the gimmick as it needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he evolved. Yeah, because Surfer Sting probably wouldn't have lasted.
In my opinion, like he's on my Mount Rushmore. Sting's like one of the goats. Like you can't. Like a lot of people, they want to focus on titles, and it's like it's not all about that.
Yeah. I think he's missed out because he's right in that crux of like the territories are starting to go away.
Mm-hmm.
WCW is becoming a thing, and then that's when they really push behind him, going, he's going to be our guy. And so people don't think about like him back in the territory days or him in the Blade Runners, and they don't think about that stuff because it was like that was his building stage to get him to be Sting.
Who was he with at the tag team that before he became Sting?
That was Warrior.
That was Warrior. That's right.
Yeah.
There was that big. What was that name? I'm trying to remember the name.
Blade Runners.
Blade Runner. Oh, it's Blade Runners. Okay, I thought it was something. So who was like the Towers or something?
Undertaker and.
Oh, it was Undertaker. Okay,
Dan Spivey.
I was thinking Sting. Okay.
And then eventually Sid, right? Or was it the other way around?
Because Undertaker got hurt, so Sid replaced him with Spivey.
Oh, okay. And it's funny how someone say that Sting wouldn't be. I mean, Taker would be a main eventer.
And the thing with Sting is, Joe, he kind of did it on his own terms when you think of it, because he never had the huge WWE engine behind him for 98% of his career.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like, he didn't need it, and he did when he did go. Like, we should have got that Taker Sting match.
Well,
we should have.
Advocate here.
That's a great point.
A lot of his championship runs and even the matches within were very underrated.
Sting match with Vader was good.
Rude versus Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, and I think it was for the International Heavyweight Championship at the time.
Yes.
Rude put Sting over. He didn't have to because they were both right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the things that is missing. Like, growing up near Fort Hood here in Texas, Abrams Fieldhouse, it's the Post's largest gym. 1991, I'm sitting there with my father, who at the time active duty MP, and he'd sit there and he'd go, "I want you to watch the heels." It got me to respect the heel gimmick a whole heck of a lot more. Like, my favorite wrestlers are heels.
Yeah, they're just as important.
And yet, you go to a meet and greet right next when they're done with their match, and I'm probably about 8 years old at this point. I'm sitting on the knee of Harley Race, who probably has no knee left. I got to meet Vader, which Vader was a huge teddy bear, even though people would say things about Leon White that probably are untrue unless you piss the man off. And getting to sit there with Arn Anderson, who, Arn Anderson on TV looked so imposing, but the old Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Gene and Ole and Arn and, Flair, long before the Horsemen, And then I'm going to make this joke, what are the two things that Ole Anderson, or one thing that Ole Anderson and Eric Bischoff have in common? That they said that the two biggest talents of the 90s era would never draw a dime. And Austin still, to this day, maybe Cena, maybe Reigns is literally like right there. But Austin, to this day, still makes money. And think about it. Austin started
to be there
in a smoke-filled building in Dallas, Texas, after playing football at North Texas.
Yeah, that's crazy with like Stone Cold and Taker when they were told they wouldn't they wouldn't sell or they wouldn't main event, and it's like now look at them.
Well, Taker got presented to WWE several times. Vince turned it down. It was Paul Heyman that got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that took a lot of legwork on Paul's part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I was the same way. I always gravitated towards the heels.
Mm-hmm.
Like Roddy Piper's, like smashing the coconut over, Jimmy Snuka, and then whoever Hogan was fighting. That's who I
Oh,
was.
yeah.
I didn't care who you were.
Like-
Or Bundy, DiBiase.
Yeah.
People wanted those people to win. It's never going to happen.
I think a big mistake as far as heel champion that Vince never took advantage of was Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah.
Scott Bigelow should have been at least a heavyweight champion in WWE at least once.
Well, he was one of those like Vader who was just a freak of nature because a dude that big should not be able to do what he was doing.
No.
So you had people like Bam Bam, you had people like Vader, you had Big Boss Man, like that could do these amazing things at the size they were. It's like, why were we not pushing them more, giving them
It's
more
like-
of that opportunity?
That's one thing I loved about Braun Strowman. Big guy he was. And he was doing some big stuff. Jeff Cobb even. He's a big
Keith
guy. He
Lee.
does. Big Keith Lee. I hope he comes back soon.
I still remember the first time I seen Boss Man was Big Bubba Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
But he stood out to me right away. I'm like, who's this guy, man? Like, he's really, really mobile. Like, for his size, he moves really well.
So that brings up a question I wanted to ask all of you. What was the thing you remember that was the first moment of like, this is going to be my thing? This is going to be the thing I'm going to watch forever.
Well, for me, my first match, the first match I saw, I was 12, 05. And it was Shawn Michaels versus Shelton Benjamin. It was Monday Night Raw, and he hit him in midair with that sweet chin music. Like, what? Not only was the match great, when it capped off on that, I was like, and then I just
Beautiful
like,
spot.
I got to keep watching. And then I saw Jeff Hardy. Then I saw Undertaker, and then Triple H, and then I saw Rey Mysterio. And then to me, all that time it was just WWE. But then I branched to TNA. That's when I first saw Sting was at TNA. And then when I started looking up the history of Sting with WCW, I was like, oh, I love Sting. And then I started looking at more WCW and reading about that and watching YouTube at the time where I could get old school episodes on YouTube. And I started watching old school WCW stuff. And I was just like, man. And to me, that's when I was hooked. That sweet chin music in midair in the match. And at that time, at 12, I was like, man, this, I thought it was real. Man, this stuff's awesome, But, it's still when, and that's the thing of what I love about wrestling is when they create that magic where, like, it sucks you in and you don't think it's a work or this or that. You're just like in belief, and you're just like, man, this is like, he's got to get payback, or that was a great match, or whatever. That's the magic to me of wrestling. And then a lot of people are so focused on stories. I love stories, don't get me wrong, but if I see like a little story or no story, but I see a great wrestling match, I'm fine. Like, that's me. Because to me, I know a lot of people don't treat it this way. To me, I treat it as a sport, because it is, in my opinion, they're athletes. They're going out there and yeah, it's predetermined, but they're going out there and wrestling and performing these moves, and they got to stay in shape, and they're athletes. They do athletic stuff in the ring, and they sell everything to where you don't even question, like just when you go see a movie, you don't be like, oh, well, that's not real. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll do that when I see Fast and Furious sometime. But other than that, I'm watching the movie, I'm enjoying the movie. I'm not questioning, oh, well, that's not real, or no, they didn't really kiss, or whatever.
That's not really Thanos.
Yeah, it's not really Thanos. I'm there, I'm like, man, this is a cool movie. Or, man, Batman was awesome. When that's the same thing with wrestling. I watch wrestling, I can see a great wrestling match. If there's a little bit of no story to it, that's fine. If I get both the best of both worlds, awesome. But I love seeing good wrestling matches. And that's one thing I do love about AEW, because a lot of their matches to me are better than what I see with WWE. Now, I thought Sami Zayn versus Rey Fenix last night was a fantastic match. That match was great. And I think Tiffany J would have been a lot better had not ended in a counter. And then Drew versus Orton was a great match last night. They had a good match. And I was glad Drew McIntyre won. But I did only get 3 matches last night on a 2-hour show.
Well, if you watch Worlds Collide, you got 5 hours of wrestling. But hey,
But
no,
had I not had to wake up at 1 a.m. for work, I would have finished it out. But once I finished SmackDown, I was ready to go to bed. But I did rewatch Worlds Collide, and it was a good PLE pay-per-view. I still say pay-per-view. I can't get on the PLE thing. It's just a tongue twister. It was a good show.
To answer Mike's question, I mean, we touched on the heels being what drew some of us were drew to first in professional wrestling. I'd also say it was the environment. Watching Clash of Champions at Greensboro Coliseum, the aforementioned Sting Flair match.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, Baltimore, Maryland for Great American Bash 90 when Sting finally got over on Rick.
Mm-hmm.
With of all things a small package. Show used to call it Paul Smackage. But yeah, no,
maybe they'll bring that back.
and hell, that move is the small package was more designed for a heel to quickly get the match over and get that chicken shit heel to get the match over and get out of there. Now, I mean, it's as venerable as a Mahai straw. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering the name of that at this point. But the cradle, or the bridge over. I mean, you look at all these creative pins now. I mean, Alexa Bliss, and I think I have seen Mercedes Moné use it. Was first Sherry Martel using it back in the 80s, where that laying on a full over just to get the pin. And that was the beauty of Sherry Martel, way ahead of her time. As a manager, as a talent, it was something. But going back, like I said, it was the environments. It's like Sky Dome for 18 and for 6. I knew I was a wrestling fan because you got to watch people that, back in the day, probably Stampede and Mike can agree to this, we were made fun of if we went to class or we were talking about professional wrestling. Oh, it's fake. No, everything hurts. Mm-hmm. It's just preordained how it's going to hurt.
Let me hit you with a chair and see how you feel.
Exactly.
Let me hit you with that Braun Breaker spear. Give me a right start.
Back when I started, we all thought this was real.
Yeah.
Right? Like back in the early 80s.
Yeah.
We didn't know no better.
Well, back then you didn't have internet.
Well, you thought a chair shot was real.
Yeah.
Because you never really... The way they would hold their hands closest to their forehead...
Yeah.
You thought somebody was getting crowned that night.
Yeah.
Oh, some of them did get crowned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's the logistics.
They definitely did. I remember watching
Go ahead.
Undertaker's first match. It was against Brody, and he came on with Jeremy, and that thing disintegrated.
Brody beat the ever-living dog snot.
Oh, yeah.
Out of Undertaker.
He just ragged him for about 4.5, 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then bounced. But he was of what the moments of, okay, I'm hooked. Brody would have been one, because I still have this image in my mind. I don't know where the match was, but it was him and Abdullah, because they battled everywhere.
Was it Puerto Rico?
I still remember Brody in the stands with a chain, waving it across his head, and everybody just kind of scattered. I'm like, okay, this is wild, man. I need more of this. That would have been one of them. Another one would have been Magnum TA and Tully in the Cage.
Oh, yeah.
That was just, that hooked me right in.
Yeah.
You bringing up Abdullah the Butcher and Brody, Bruiser Brody. I think that match was in Puerto Rico for WWE, for the Cologne promotion down there, the Cologne territory.
Yeah, well, they
Yeah.
also locked down there, so
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Well,
but
the
he was
clothes
just
promotion gets
wild.
wild anyway.
Yeah, he was just wild. Like no matter what you think, just the look of his promo, it just drew me right in.
If you didn't have 6 matches on a card drawing some color that night, it wasn't a good show. Let's
Right.
put it that way.
Or having someone try to stab you after the show.
And I'll fast forward a little bit because I think they need a little bit of attention because back in very tail end of 2022, this is when I figured I kept hearing about Stardom, but I'd never really seen it. Okay, I got to check this out. The match that got me hooked was Siri and Julia. It's like, okay, if this is what that is, you have me for life, and they have had me ever since. Like, just so amazing, so precise, so fast. Like hard hitting strikes, everything, just off the charts. So I just want to give them a shout out too, because that's what hooked me into more women's wrestling, and kind of evolved from there.
Yeah. Because at the time we didn't have, except for women of wrestling back when we were kids and young adults, Stardom was that continuation. Not necessarily the same brand, but focusing all on women's wrestling. And as he was illustrating earlier, women's wrestling now,
There's so much
It's way better now.
like
I could book a whole card.
Yeah.
Tokyo Joshi Pro, Sendai. I mean, Sari, like she does her own pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Like this woman was in NXT just as a schoolgirl, going through some portal, right? And look at her now; she's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Not just
Oh yeah.
like but she runs her own pay-per-views now. I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of them, but they're extremely well done, and they sell out within minutes.
Yeah.
So women's wrestling is.
Are we talking Marigold?
Yeah. Like I'll watch Marigold too. It's smaller a small roster, so I think they're still find their footing, so to speak, with picking up Mayu and Utami, who's big gets. Victoria Yuzuki over there, that's definitely one to watch. She reminds me of a cross between Julia and Natsupoi, if you're familiar with her. But extremely talented. Another one is Chi Chi. She's hooked up with Sari. It's kind of like, if you want it bearable, it's like the Billy Starks, like Athena pair. Sari and Chi Chi. It's the same dynamic. You don't see one now without the other. So that's
in my opinion, one good way to put Billy over is that she would be the one to turn on Athena and defeat her for the title in her reign. And then Athena could go on to AEW and be more involved with the TBS or AEW Women's World title.
I think Billy's more ready for that now than she's ever been.
Oh yeah.
Like in ring, I think she was ready, but character-wise, I don't think that was evolved enough.
I think she's great.
But
she's really good.
She is now.
And I hope AEW signs Lena Cross. She's really good. Seeing her stuff.
Yeah.
We want Cross.
I'll go ahead and answer my own question there. I'm going to take it back in the Wayback Machine to the tape trading days. There was
before Meta.
There was a hot video store right next to the post office. My mom was selling off sending off all the bills and everything, and she'd let me go over there and just kind of cruise around. And they had this little section of wrestling tapes that they were selling because they were trying to refresh the thing. And there was a tape called WWF's Biggest, Smallest, Strangest, Strongest.
Coliseum Video.
Yeah. And it was just...
I don't think I've seen that one.
I bought that one. It was like $1. And I sat at home and I watched that thing basically until it broke. Yeah. But the thing that got me with it, and this is why, like I say all the time on our show that like I'm mainly a WWE guy because I say it's a buffet. WWF at the time and WWE now is the buffet. They try to have a little bit of everything. You have great matches with like Sammy and Phoenix. You have the story stuff. You have the dark and dirty stuff. Like they try to have a little of everything. And the thing that stood out on this is there was a home promo thing of Hillbilly Jim. And it was like him at home, and he was there with his hound dog, and he'd wrestle his hound dog for a minute. And he's like, and the bear hug was his big move. And he's like, this is how I learned how to do the bear hug. He picked up this big tire and was like squeezing the tire. And it captivated me of like, this dude's really just like a hometown hillbilly.
Yeah.
Or the hillbilly wedding, first ever WWE wedding I think I ever saw.
Yeah,
as a child, mind you, was Hillbilly Jim.
And the world building they did with that, because then you had like Uncle Elmer that was part of it. It's like, it was just amazing to me. And at that point, like I watched that and I was like, I have got to find out where to watch more of this stuff. And so like I'd go and I'd bought more of those tapes, mowed a lot of yards to get those tapes. Found wherever I could on TV to watch it. Asked my dad about it, which then come to find out, Andre the Giant was part of the Lions Club, right down the street from us back in the NWA days. And he's like, yeah, there was times where like Ric Flair and Andre the Giant were on the same card, and I'm like, oh my god. And so just sitting on his knee and just listening to all these stories of like these before I was born days of like these guys that now are larger than life on my TV, were just a stone's throw away in an arena, just fascinated me. So I latched on at that point. I never let go.
One of the guys I like looking up, and it's sad that his life ended so soon, was at Magnum TA. When I go back watch his stuff, like if I was a fan, that he'd been my guy. Like,
I mean, the career, yeah. I think Magnum's still alive.
I thought he passed away in a car accident.
No.
No. Who am I thinking of then?
No, you're thinking of him, but that ended his career. Like
ended his career. Okay.
Savage passed from a vehicle accident, but I think that was also a seizure or a heart attack played into that one.
Something happened and caused him to go off the road. But no, Magnum was the
he's
dude.
66-year-old now. Yeah.
I still say to this day, I think if Magnum wouldn't have had that, I kind of wonder if he wouldn't have been Hogan.
Yeah.
You think so?
Like, that would have been the guy that Vince would have latched onto and said, that's going to be the guy.
Could have very easily been.
I don't know, just the way he looks. You know, when he wore that leather jacket and everything, that was...
Had the timing been right and the accident never happened, Vince would have hired Magnum TA and turned him into WWF's Flair.
Yeah.
You know, that generation's Flair, to where, as he's leaving out, would have put over Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, but he would have ascended much better than Hogan. And yeah, I mean, and the tie in there, Tully Blanchard, and through Tessa, which I'm not going to expound on because I have nothing nice to say about her. But Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard are specific examples of really good hands that got really raw deals. You know, Magnum TA, the accident, and then Tully should have been more than just a bit player in the Horsemen or the Brainbusters. Or he should have been more.
I think if you want to kind of fast forward Magnum into today's environment, I think we have Aaron's favorite wrestler. About as close as a comparable right now.
Hangman Page is a direct
Yeah, that's why he's my favorite. Especially when he was rocking the stash, like him and TA just looked like twins, bro. Like him, but Hangman had the stash going for a while, and he was wearing that jacket. I was like, bro, he looks like TA. And Hangman also reminds me of HBK in a way. That's why I love HBK Hangman so much, because HBK is my favorite wrestler of all time. He's my goat. But that's why I love Hangman so much, because he reminds me of, just the redemption stuff, and then him falling off and losing his smile and all that stuff. And it was just like, it sounds like Shawn Michaels. Of course, with Shawn Michaels and at that time, that was a lot of real life personal stuff he was going through. But just the way he wrestles and of course the way he dresses, it just looks like a new HBK in my opinion. And some AEW fans are like hearing that, they're like, "No, he's nothing like HBK. He's better than HBK." I'm like, eh. So I've gotten that backlash, but I'm just like the way he just carries himself, and how even like the Buckshot Larry, he can pull that out of nowhere, just kind of like sweet chin music, things like that. That's just he just kind of reminds me of that when it comes to Hangman, and that's why I love him so much. And
Or
I think he's a great in ring performer too, like fantastic.
right.
Well, every
Yeah.
wrestler, nicks things from, wrestlers of the past. Right? You see it all the time. Right? I mean, like
Mhm.
MJF cut a promo Wednesday, and if I closed my eyes, I thought, okay, that's Flair, and
Yes,
and that's Piper.
I
Mm-hmm.
agree.
That's,
I'm
that's what
thinking.
I hear in this program. Right?
Well, Tori and I had talked about that at one of the last AEW pay-per-views. Kyle Fletcher, like he came out with the weird glasses and all that, and I'm like, that's just '96 Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
It's like he's just coming out looking like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. But he borrows
I
elements.
didn't see that, but now you mentioned, I'm like, bro.
Yeah. When he came out on Dynamite on Wednesday, and him and Hangman were talking, and mind you, I had just gotten up from a nap, so I was able to catch that portion of their promo.
Gotta
You
get you
you,
nuts.
you felt, and I hate to say it this way, I felt a Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels type
Ooh.
interaction to
Mhm.
where you've got Kyle Fletcher, who's the future, Hangman Page, the standard bearer, aka Bret,
Mhm.
and Kyle, the same thing with Osprey. I'm going to say the thing for Kyle Fletcher. If they keep booking him right, and allow Don Callis to have his fingers in his development,
Mhm.
but as soon as they can turn him into a heel that doesn't need the invisible hand
Yeah.
by his side, that's the one thing that's going to stop him from ever reaching those Shawn Michaels comparisons. But Hangman, you could see Hangman being AEW's Bret Hart in regards to, okay, you got to go against me to really see how you're measuring. Because you look at it this way, Kenny Omega is not too long in the tooth with his career anymore.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Who else can I bring up? The Bucks.
Yeah.
The Bucks putting over other tag teams, getting Swerve over, getting Hangman over. Long term, they're going to fade off into the ether. Um, I,
But
I
one thing
like
I find they do there is they bring up the next generation quite well.
exactly,
They bring them along with them.
and
Mhm.
that's what I think is great about WWE with NXT, AEW with kind of okay. You're in New Japan, you're in CMLL, you're in Rev Pro. We want to throw you on a couple shows, whether it be AEW or Ring of Honor, and see how the audience gravitates to you. I think Aaron and I even discussed this in the past. Is there is nothing wrong with WWE and AEW kind of creating their own wrestling cabals. WWE's got AAA, TNA, um, AEW's got CMLL in New Japan and Rev Pro, and a lot of times their talent goes to GCW or up to Maple Leaf, and shows out. MLW, tie that to AEW. I mean, obviously because of corporate reasons between WWE and MLW.
You can probably
Um,
add them into that now too with AEW and Eve too,
yeah.
because Nyla Rose is their champion and Chris Statlander
hmm
has the title over there, and Will Ospreay is the producer.
Or Pro Wrestling Noah, Muda's promotion. You know,
I don't
uh,
know what's going on
uh,
there. The Romo just got a title there, and he's an
yeah.
talent. I don't know what's going on.
I
I
mean,
just wish AEW and WWE play ball together in the war,
eventually they
man.
may.
Like,
I think right now they have the best shot that they have to do that because of people they have there.
Mm-hmm.
You have Copeland there, you have Brian there. If they could just get in Tony's ear and be like, "Hey, look, like I know there's this beef between us and everything, but if we could get, you know, a Seth Rollins to come over here and do one Kenny Omega match, and we
Bro.
send one person over there to do a match over there with them.
New
And
Day
just-
and the Bucks.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
imagine a World Rumble,
something.
Kenny Omega as a surprise entrant.
and yeah, I mean, in the long run, it's going to be, it's going to be 50-50 booking because that's the way it's got to be. You're not going to
It
let
needs to be.
one
I
go
mean,
more over than the other,
Well,
but it'd still be fun for us as fans to see
Remember-
these things.
and it would be a big payday because think of an arena that could fill with that.
remember
One
what
time
we
on
had
pay-per-view.
potentially in 2019. Steve Austin and Chris Jericho talking to each other on the Broken Skull sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And had that gone the way I think WWE and AEW wanted it to go, we would have had an AWA Super Wars kind of eventuality.
And then they allowed Show and others congratulate John Cena
Mm-hmm.
on his 20-year.
I'll be honest. I don't see that happening in my lifetime.
Probably, but I mean, what could the wrestling business benefit from WWE and AEW at least trying to come to the table? Yes,
Mhm.
I don't disagree.
Oh,
Like Stampede
all the
said,
business and would dissipate.
like Stampede said, flat out, the biggest problem is there are too many egos in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna have to be the bigger man. And I know TKO isn't going to be the bigger man when it comes to sitting across the
With
table
that
from
money.
Tony. So, it's going to probably be impossible, but the possibilities are endless if it does.
Yeah,
As they say in wrestling, never say never.
Yeah.
it's
I
like
think
the whole
you-
point of the show, right? It's the territories.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
if we could have that type of feel again, where you never know when someone's going to show up. We've seen footage of Hogan and Andre having matches when one was AWA and one was Mid South,
Uh-huh.
and you didn't know that was going to happen. And then you see these two behemoths battling each other, and of course we get to see it later in WrestleManias. But like it started there.
Yeah.
Of these two guys that how the hell did they end up in a ring together? Oh, that's because they played ball and went, hey, we'll send you our guy. You do some stuff over there. Send us one of your guys. We'll have some good matches that our people haven't seen before.
Yeah, it would be healthier for everybody all around if that
Mhm.
were to happen.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking the
the two biggest
viewership.
guys on the block getting together.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is one of them doesn't want a second guy on the block.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
yeah.
I don't think
That
I don't
mindset-
think AEW cares. It's
No,
WWE
AEW don't give a shit.
or TKO. AEW is just doing their thing, and the TKO's like, no, they can't do that.
Well,
And
and I,
TKO's like, we got to put them out.
I wonder if the biggest problem isn't even them, it's the fans.
The fans are a big part because wrestlers. Because Will Ospreay mentioned he didn't mention names, maybe for reasons, but he mentioned there was a few friends he has in WWE that send him text and phone calls saying, "Hey, praying for you. Hope you get better." Been there.
Yeah,
So he said somebody said been there and done that. I'm trying to think of who WWE has done that already.
Yeah, like the wrestlers themselves are fine with each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't-
Yeah.
They don't care.
I mean, there's probably a few they don't like. 'Cause I don't think Seth Rollins likes AEW. What he said several times.
I think Seth is fine. Seth came from that environment. Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ring of Honor.
That's
Oh
how he
yeah,
got
especially
through.
Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
I think it's because we're in this era that we used to have kayfabe, and
Yeah.
some of the wrestlers
Yeah.
still want to do it. They still want to be like MJF is a perfect example because he's just a dick all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and no one
I
says a
think-
word about it because they understand that's him. That's what he does. And
I
so when
seen that
Seth
today,
says some
actually.
crap to Ricochet
Mm-hmm.
or says some crap to
Mark Briscoe.
Ospreay or Briscoe, everybody's like, "Oh my god, he hates them." No, he's a heel. He's supposed to be a dick.
Exactly.
He is playing late 80s, early 90s Flair
Yeah,
that he knows his shit doesn't stink and he can go talk his game, but he's still going to get his ass kicked one way or another.
Did you see
That-
what he
that's-
said to the TNA dude?
Uh-huh.
But
Said
that's
he-
the thing to
Said
me
he
with
over
that.
Nemeth if it's not a problem then.
That's the thing
Exactly.
with me with the heel. Like, they're supposed to draw that heat and get people to literally like want to whoop their butt because what they said or what they did.
Yeah.
Like, how many times have you heard stories of a heel wrestler, and y'all probably witnessed this in a show of a heel wrestler, and all of a sudden fans are about to grab him and literally attack him because he just attacked he cheated in the match, or he got the steel chair and hit the baby face everybody loves so dearly, and then he's trying to run out the ring. Everybody's trying to reach out to grab him and actually land a punch in or something. And that's what a heel's supposed to be.
He
Yeah.
needed to be
My-
escorted, or I don't know if escorted out, but he needed people with him down in CMLL when he was doing that Mystico program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
They got a match coming up. I think it's next Friday.
You're probably going to need security.
Yeah, he will to get back to his hotel room. But that's what he draws. But that's
yeah.
the '80s style heat. That's what it was back then.
And I love how he just ran with it. Like, he's posted on Twitter about something that's like, I don't care. Like, I'll take all you want or something. I'm just like, this is cool. This is cool.
Yeah.
Well, here's something for you: a throwback, Gunther. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why this kind of plays into that.
I do love it.
Is Gunther is a very old school heel,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of a la how MJF portrays his character.
Mm-hmm.
But now, because MJF and Gunther do so well as heels,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying it's to their detriment or to the position of a heel as a detriment, but now heels more than ever are baby faces.
Yeah.
It's like the eras have switched to where if you were a heel, you had to worry about not getting a police escort out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
As to where now you look at, say, a Killer Cross. Killer Cross, straight heel.
Yeah.
Lucha Underground, NXT, TNA, FSW, Saudi crowd, and I think an arena crowd that they had gotten back from overseas. The shows after the Saudi run. And Cross is walking out and getting more babyface pops than the babyface walking behind him.
Yeah, that may be a conversation for another time, but I mean that's something that unfortunately during that Attitude Era, NWO era, that it became cool to be the heel.
Exactly.
And so we kind of switched that dynamic, and now people don't like the baby face that goes in there and Spitfire and all that stuff. But
because there's a lot of people that are not Cody fans. I mean,
you said they look
like not like
Zayn in Chicago.
Right. I'm just saying, like Cody came out last night. He got a pop, but I mean, you hear Roman come out. I mean, it's like the roof blows off on the place.
I think with Cody, they're just getting tired of the gimmick because it's been the same gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly think if he turns heel, it'll be that Hulk Hogan revolution to his career.
If you're the same flavor white meat baby face for so long, it's going to turn the fans off.
Yeah.
As to where, what was it? Just thinking about this, there was a not too recent SmackDown. You got John Cena, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. They walk into the room, whether they get the John Cena sucks or John Cena chant, Kurt Angle, you suck, and then you get anybody, whether it's a heel or a babyface, unless it's like Randy Orton, the aforementioned Adam Copeland, Christian right now. You walking out there during a Cena promo, you're going to get booed out of the building. The same thing with Punk. Punk is a topic for a podcast unto his own, but you go interrupt CM Punk, you're going to get booed right out of the ring and probably out of the arena. That's something else that I think with the 80s to now, when you have that really good mouthpiece,
yes,
a la an MJF or CM Punk or Seth Rollins or Hangman Adam Page. Now, people forget Hangman Adam Page's occupation before he became a professional wrestler was being an English teacher. So he's going to speak very eloquently when he's on that mic.
He can speak Spanish.
Oh yeah,
in 2 languages, no less.
Yeah, he's probably learning another one right now.
and that's the thing is we make these parallels to Magnum TA and to Shawn Michaels in yesteryear, to Hangman Page now, and that's the thing is the biggest part of this podcast is talking about the old days, but we're also sitting here kind of going, okay, which name over here or that name over there can I pick from? The Briscoes.
Rest in peace, Jay.
Briscoes are a perfect example of an old school tag team. I'd like to even compare them, without the chicken farmer gimmick, to the Brainbusters. You know, they were very methodical, but they could be they could get dirty and slap around some heads just as quick.
I always said it's a name that not a lot of people know. Sheep herders.
I was thinking,
yeah, because you had the bushwhackers, which everybody knows, and the gimmick and the biting of the butts. But before that, they were just badass dudes.
Oh yeah,
who bled practically every match. And so, like, I always akined it more to that. But I see where you're coming from, though, because, like, technically speaking, they're not bad. Like, they were great technical as well. So I could definitely see a Brainbusters comparison there too.
Yeah, because the Briscoes, Jay and Mark, outside of getting busted open up almost every match, the biggest thing about those two is they could give you hardcore, they could give you technical, they could give you aerial, and you don't see the risk in the body much anymore. You got some of these companies that their talent just goes through the motions instead of going, okay, how do I make my mark? How do I do this tope con hero?
How do I stand out?
Yeah, exactly.
Like how do I get people watching that clip over and over and over again?
Or the greatest tope suicida ever last night. Mr. Laesca and Demonito.
Again, to me, honestly, that stuff I don't like in wrestling. It's me. I don't like it. Okay, I see the humor. It got me laughing, but I'm more of I want to see a wrestling match. I want to see two guys go at it, and when they puppets and stuff that come out or something like that, I'm just like if it's for a promo or a segment, find it funny. Like when Harley Cameron did it. But when it comes to, and I even like Mr. Iguana when he comes out, he does his little thing. He throws the iguana at the guy, and he does his thing to him. It gets the distraction. You know, it's funny, but I don't know. Just it kind of like even when Santino had the Cobra. You know, he always put the sleeve on, and you know, the wrestler's watching the whole time. I'm like, you know what's coming. Why don't you get a clothesline or something?
If I told you comedy sells more seats in professional wrestling than being matter of fact, look at Santino.
Yeah.
And Santino's a director of authority in TNA. You know? and Santino.
And R-Truth. Look at R-Truth.
Leaping Lanny Poffo. Yeah. You gotta bring up the genius, William Regal. William Regal was a badass in England, but one of the best comedic wrestlers when he came to the States. You know, same thing with Dave Taylor. Dave Taylor, technically sound, but some of the crap Dave Taylor did, which is like, is this the same Dave Taylor I watched in WCW?
I mean, look at Harley Cameron. Look what she does.
I mean, look at Bobby Eaton. Bobby Eaton was Squire Bobby Eaton in WCW. I mean, Bobby Eaton is another one that should have had a world championship run.
Dustin Rhodes with gold.
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable should have long had.
I've said this many times. that man has the talent to be mentioned in the same breath as Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's
Absolutely.
not. Like because
To me,
they
WWE is
focused
underutilized.
too much on the comedy aspect of what he was doing. But his talent is too good.
Mhm.
You know,
I'll-
you know,
I think a
you know,
fork in
we
the
need
road
in
for him.
Bloodsport.
He
In
does need to be in
Bloodsport, we
Bloodsport.
need Chad Gable versus Zack Sabre.
I think the fork in the road for his career was when, for some reason, they decided Jason Jordan was going to be Kurt Angle's son.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If that would have been
Oh, yeah.
Chad Gable, I think we'd see an entirely different run for Chad Gable. But
Well, that goes back to Vince's. Well, let's see if here we can piss off the fans this week kind of booking mentality.
yeah,
You know, that
I think with the whole heel thing,
You gotta
I
throw away
don't
the
think
key.
there's enough promotions willing to go all in on it.
Mhm.
Like you see with Moxley, like there's no redeemable qualities with him.
no.
You can't sing along to his song. You're not buying his T-shirt because he doesn't have any. You know, he doesn't have a catchphrase. You know,
Well, he
hid
has
the
the Death Rider shirt.
well, he held the belt from everybody for what 10 months. You know,
Mhm.
you didn't even
And
see
everyone was mad.
right.
They were like,
That's the
He's
point,
a-
though.
And that was the point.
He's a heel, and they were all mad that they hated the heel.
yeah, and that's why I kept telling everyone. I was like, y'all are mad at a heel doing heel
doing
things.
a heel thing.
You're reacting exactly how they want you to.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Yep.
But then on the other end of the scale,
They hooked you
you,
in.
know, you have Seth, who I have affectionately referred to as the Seth Riders, occasionally. But he still comes out to the same song. Everybody's
And
singing
everyone's
along,
singing through
and-
it.
right. So there's
Mhm.
a disconnect with that, right? Like, okay, if you're a heel, why am I singing your song? Why am I enjoying what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
That Monday Night Messiah version of Seth Rollins
That was good.
I like
would have
that.
been perfect for this
Yeah.
time.
That
And
was
I
good.
pitched
Yeah.
on X, and it got. I think it got me most of my followers because I pitched. Man, this is what Cross was in WWE, and this was right around when Black was coming to WWE. And I pitched, what if they came together, Cross, Seth, and Black in an unholy? I called it the unholy trinity. Black was the prophet. Rollins was the Messiah, and Cross was the devil. And I was like, man, that'd be so that day. Like that'd be freaking awesome.
It actually
They
sounds
could
pretty good,
all
actually.
sell that, and there'd be a great faction. You know, you could even have Rollins or something. I would say Cross win the world title, but Rollins won the world title. Cross win maybe the Intercontinental or something, or him and Black win the tag titles. You know, I'm like, man, that would be beautiful.
Mhm.
But just to speak,
And they
on
can
it,
still do it. Cross still technically a free agent. WWE.
Cross-
All you gotta do is ring the
Cross,
phone.
and like how this show started, which was the territories back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have the territories back now. They're not exactly the same, but we do.
Exactly.
Karrion Kross is made for this environment with the character that he runs and how he
Yes.
runs it with Scarlett.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is listen to their promos, watch their presentation, how they present themselves and how they market
Mhm.
themselves.
And who was
They-
Cross's biggest influence?
Oh crap! He mentioned it, and I forgot.
Yeah, it was a varsity club member,
Oh,
Kevin Sullivan.
yeah.
Sullivan. That's
Like,
it. That's
Kevin.
it. I knew it was Kevin. I was thinking it was
The
Kevin Sullivan.
devil himself.
Yep.
But
Mhm.
I've said this about Kross. He is extremely, extremely creative. Extremely.
And he's a good wrestler too. People hate on his wrestling.
I would love for a promotion to say, okay, we're going to hand you this and create stuff for us.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would knock that out of the park.
Absolutely.
He
Mhm.
knocks anything. Even he was putting that stupid gladiator, whatever Vince had him in. He was selling.
I call that the Lord Humongous outfit from the World Warrior movie.
That's fair enough. That's
What
fair
are you
enough.
doing, man? I'm like, this is horrible.
Well,
That was a
called
Sid
him up.
Unity tribute.
They called him up and they took away everything that made him
Everything.
cool in
Everything.
NXT. We
his
took away
wife.
Scarlet. We took away the entrance. We took away the music. We like it just put him in, a leftover Farouk outfit, and said, "There you go."
The only thing they left him was his actual name, so that presentation will forever be attached to him.
I like the Killer Cross name better than Carrie.
Somewhere Sid Udy, somewhere in heaven or wherever Sid Udy is sitting right now, when he saw that before he passed, I'm pretty sure he was like, "Hey, can we sue Vince for gimmick infringement?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, why didn't they push Cross? Like, he's especially this last few months, he's been your hottest attraction, and then you let him go. Like some are still speculating it's a work. It's not.
No, it's not a work.
Can he be re-signed? Sure.
Yeah.
And he would sign in a heartbeat. He said he would.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he's not going to AEW, because if he does, he'd burn that bridge.
You know who I think is the reason why you really don't see Cross, or Cross didn't get as much TV time? Brother Love, Bruce Pritchard. If you got rid of the old school mentality, and I understand why Bruce Pritchard is still there, it's to give Nick Aldis, Robert Roode, Chris Park, all of them. I mean, I'd rather lean on Billy Kidman, who is a long tenured producer at WWE, than I would Bruce Pritchard, because people now do not want to see how wrestling was when Bruce and Tom were doing their bit for King and Country, or President and whatever. That's the thing is if you got rid of Bruce Pritchard and just let Triple H book WWE, you see it with Shawn Michaels and the freedom Shawn Michaels has. It's the same way with Simon Diamond and Dean Malenko down there in AEW. You let them build the match. Okay, we start here, we're gonna go here and finish here. I think Dean Malenko, be quite honest with you, was the one that booked the chain match between Punk and MJF in WWE or in AEW. And think about that.
Yes,
Dean Malenko, a technical wrestler, was the agent for that match.
Yep.
He got outside of his niche as a technical wrestler and booked this, what exactly was just a first, everybody bleeds kind of match. But the thing about it is if
I
you
hate
let
that WWE doesn't have blood anymore. I just hate it.
Well, it's a good thing, especially after, people didn't tell other people they had certain diseases. And I hearken that back to Brock Lesnar and the Undertaker's Hell in a Cell match, or excuse me, Randy Orton and Undertaker's match in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still get people cleared.
Oh yeah,
and all you gotta do is just run a test before they do the match, and then there you go. That's why I love that AEW does. They bring, and I'm saying when it's needed, not like every single match. I'm just saying like
When it's called for.
Like how come in Elimination Chamber match we don't get blood when that's supposed to alter careers?
Because like Stampede said, the spot or the match doesn't call for it.
Yeah. Like if I'm putting two people in a cage, I'm locking the door, I'm expecting at least one of them to bleed, if not both. Right?
Yeah.
Because they're going to get their heads beaten off as steel structure.
War games.
That's like we're going to bleed.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. We're working up this. We're working up this Drew and Cody match. Like to me, Cody's got to bleed in that match at some point.
Yeah.
Because the whole he kicked him through an announce table, that calls for something violent.
I honestly don't know why SmackDown didn't end with Cody bleeding after Drew Claymored him into that table.
Yeah. Having all that blood all over his white shirt. Imagine that.
Well, and he's got the hair.
That was
he's
the last
flare hair, right?
And last time you saw Cody was that. And that's why basically he was out for 3 weeks, even though we know he's doing a movie. But You could sell
And
it.
having children.
Yeah, and children. You could sell it by, oh, he just got the mess beat out of him.
Hmm.
I
He's,
think
you
one
know,
thing they would have to change, and I don't know if they're willing to do it, because we hear it all the time, the WWE style.
yeah.
They would have to change that in a lot of areas, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But as far as getting those styles of matches, like instead of the WWE style, okay, what is the style of this match that would happen? You know,
Mhm.
like I'll circle back to when Punk had the steel cage with Seth. It's like, okay, I'm expecting a certain style of match here.
Hmm.
I'm expecting it. I don't want a WWE style match. I want a style of match that dictates this feud.
Hmm.
Too often times that's not what you get. So they would
Exactly.
have to adjust that, to change things going forward. I think.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen,
And
I
speed them
went.
up a bit too. My God,
Who?
matches. I
Where-
watched the clip from AJ and Finn. I'm like, is this at real speed?
Yeah, Aaron, I could have swore you were supposed to be at a birthday party right
Yeah,
about now.
well, my wife was still at work. She's now on her way home, so that's what I was about to say. I got to.
Aaron, you get birthdays every year. Go
Yeah.
next year.
Well, when it's
Oh,
planned.
it's for the missus? Yeah, if you missed that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So, but we will continue the next one. Let's do it all about the heels. Let's talk about how the old school heels and new heels are. Let's make it the heel podcast next time.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Let's do a heel
That's a good
podcast.
topic.
Yeah, that's like real good.
I
The
play one
heels.
online occasionally, so that would make sense.
Y'all heard it here, y'all. The next episode on the Smokefield Arena podcast, we are going to discuss about the heels from the past to the present. What is the comparison? That's a good topic right there. Well, Chris, Stampede, Mike, let everyone know where they can follow you. And we'll start with Chris. We'll go down the line. Where let everyone know they can follow you and subscribe if to YouTube. If you got it, let them know.
Heck, I already even have the little bar name right there on the bottom.
There you go.
I already got the name for next week, so no
Oh.
worries there.
He's got the
Go.
name. Let's do it.
And you follow me at Stampede_ism and also at Doug C Worldwide through the Wrestle Collective. We got a few shows through the week. Raw recap with Carlos, who's in the chat here. Wrestling with Tism on Tuesdays. Me and Carlos do a Raw recap on Wednesdays. Wrestle Collective does their show on YouTube on Thursdays. And we always do a space, usually over the weekend, Weekend at Advocates. We just kind of gather together and kind of shoot the shit. So we're all over the place. So we're easy to find.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Big Mike.
You can get me personally on Twitter at Horror Wrestling, and I always have to say that out correctly. That way I don't get dinged or demonetized for anything. Horror Wrestling, so the word horror and then wrestling. But you can catch the podcast at Twitter at Kicking Out at 2 PC. We're on Twitch, on YouTube, on TikTok, pretty much anywhere. Just trying to get out there more.
Like I said, my name's Chris Branson, the sometimes subject matter expert down there. Follow me at FTCS podcast on YouTube, on X. Even have a Facebook page, but Facebook won't let me put it on there until I get 100 followers. So I'm going to put some more content out here soon. It's been a little busy the last year and a half of trying to get some things together off screen, but no, talking about heels and we are a cavalcade right here of professional wrestling history, and we are even going to smarten Aaron up.
Yeah.
Even though I know I'm pretty sure that finger went the wrong way.
There's no wrong way. With these screens, you got to point the opposite way.
Oh yeah, the Bugs Bunny way. Talk about a heel there.
Well, y'all heard it here. Yes, they will smart me up because although I know quite a bit, but these guys live through it. And that's what got with them because when we started talking about this and in the messages, I was like, man, I was real excited because I love the old school days. I do. I love looking at the old school, comparing it to now. And
if you don't mind, I'd like to cut a real quick promo.
Let's do it.
Okay. If you live on tribalism, this ain't the room to be in. If you've got to pick on people because they think different from you in regards to professional wrestling, the 3-4 men sitting right here right now, we love, mind you, all professional wrestling. So if you got to give somebody right there an earful on Twitter, go smell some grass. Go pound some sand. Just guarantee you. Okay? Guarantee you. Come my way. And you talk that mess about my boy Aaron?
We ride at dawn, boys. We ride at dawn.
Exactly.
Right at dawn.
Somebody's gonna be my Huckleberry. The gentleman, it was a pleasure. I'll see y'all next week.
We got
Absolutely.
the new world order now. All right. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome. Can't wait till the next episode. We'll definitely we'll try to pick out a time next week. We'll definitely do
Yeah,
it.
heck, I think we should start our own podcast as well amongst the four of us.
Yeah. No, this was really good. I really enjoyed this. Long time coming. Long time coming.
Oh yeah.
We can have
For
it
sure.
like kind of like the Four Horsemen in a way, but something else. Don't want to trademark.
I'm Arn.
You're right.
Hey, I'm Tully.
Um,
I'm Tully.
Sorry, I'm Arn. That was bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Me and Mike could be Arn and Tully.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
But
Aaron,
Aaron,
Flair.
yeah, and we'll make him the elder statesman down there with Stampede.
There you go.
Or he's Flair and JJ.
Yeah. I'll be Sting, the new up and coming.
There you go.
Well, I mean,
We'll turn on you in 2 weeks.
Make you Barry Windham.
I'll take that. I'll take
Aaron
that.
could be the rotating fourth guy. He got about 25 to pick from.
There you go.
Yeah.
I already got a couple up there right now.
Or
As long as he's not the Paul Roma.
well,
No one deserves that.
Well, right.
Yeah, nobody
Well,
deserves it.
he got the hair for Paul. Kind of looks like, you're Paul Roman.
I could sense a little bit of Mongo, but Mongo was actually liked in the Four Horsemen.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, see, I'm not really like them.
Mongo was
Everybody's
great.
Mongo, God rest that man's soul. And I happened to be watching ESPN, the little multi-view.
Oh, wow.
Hulu Plus Live has the unlimited package built in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching my Longhorns right now playing UTEP. And, now getting to see Mongo's number on the back of their helmets at number 76.
Heck yeah.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
That's
Not a
awesome.
Texas fan, but nice touch.
Yeah.
Never
I mean,
cheap.
look at the Bears this year. The Bears have owner on one part and sticker on the back of the helmet. So,
Mm-hmm.
no,
Bears.
this was good. And it's always
It
great
was
to
a lot of
talk wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah,
Especially when we
glad
respect one of them.
Glad the four of us got a chance to hook up and kind of find ourselves on this app. So,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing
too.
who you can find. You got to really look.
Mm-hmm.
Find some pretty good people, and there's I found 3 of them in here. So
And you gotta understand
Oh,
one
yeah.
another. You might see a few posts with someone, you'll be like, "Oh, I don't know about that." But once you get to know them and know why they're posting what they're posting, then you can see where they're coming from.
another good guy is the advocate that was in our chat there.
Oh, yeah.
He knows his stuff, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's good getting around the great minds of wrestling. I love it.
I mean, here's something for you. I know an episode we should do.
Mm.
AWA.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite.
Loved AWA. People that came through there, they're amazing, man.
I mean,
Because I really love
there's
that.
one guy that used to throw that around that came from AWA.
Mm-hmm.
Really bushy mustache too. Looked like
Looked completely different.
yeah. Looked like a lumberjack stripper.
Yeah. Scott Hall?
Oh boy.
Like,
Scott Hall, yeah.
yeah, like he drew your attention. I'm like,
He has
who's
the big bushy hair, the big mustache.
Yeah, And
I
then
love
Him
seeing
and
those old
Kurt
pictures of
Hennig.
him.
yeah,
Him and Kurt Hennig as a tag team. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh,
Hennig
yeah.
with Botwood.
Oh yeah.
They were excellent. I
The-
still
the-
get requests for that. It's like, can you send me? Because we'll talk about it in chats or whatever. It's like, you send me stuff. It's like, yep, no problem. Done. I have no problem doing that. I'll send you whatever.
greatest greatest series of matches ever was Hennig Bockwinkel, hands down in that company.
Oh,
Can see that.
I mean, I wouldn't say Hogan, Boulder, whatever his name was this week. Back when he was in AWA, I could never give him that kind of credit. I mean, Hogan was more Vince than he was Gagne, even though Gagne gave him his start.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I will say, like, I was the market for Hogan when I was younger. Like, I had all the stuff. I watched it. I took the vitamins just because he told me to. But I still, like, to this day, cannot believe how much he could wrestle and just didn't. Because, like, he did those matches with Muda and Inoki, and it's like, oh my, you could wrestle, man. Where was this stuff?
I mean, Hogan's throwing enziguris in matches in Japan. I think Tenzin. He was in a
Yeah.
and he threw an enziguri, and I'm like,
Where'd that come from? It wasn't needed in WWF though, because it was all say your prayers, take vitamins, and all this.
Oh yeah,
It was all
Yeah,
a diving splash.
that way, right?
Seeing
That's
Hogan
what-
hitting a diving splash was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I tell people all the time. Like, when they complain about Cena and the 5 moves, I was like, he didn't need more.
Hmm.
People loved him.
You know what I think is best about AEW versus WWE, and Stampede was sitting there saying it. They're more worried about the camera work and fitting a time measure. AEW doesn't worry about where the camera's placed as long as there's action going on, which harkens back to the old NWA days. As long as you're just throwing bows and throwing each other into a steel railing, as long as you didn't throw somebody over the top rope and get disqualified, quality television.
Yep.
They lean more into what the matches are supposed to be based on
Exactly.
the context of what's being told.
Yeah.
All Elite Wrestling.
We watched a match the other night. It was on our Discord. We were just throwing on some random matches. But Minoru Suzuki came up. And most people only know Suzuki from what they see in AEW. But this was the match that he had with Kenta Kobashi. I think it was back in, when was that? 2005. Completely different guy. Like, you wouldn't even recognize him. But we should even do something like that. Like older matches of people we would know, and that just kind of bring them to the forefront. Mike had an idea with that with your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, we have a lot to discuss on the next episode.
I got a good one for you. Nigel McGuinness versus Bryan Danielson. That's a match we should discuss.
Yeah. Or
a feud in general.
The next,
they had several. So yeah, that's a whole. We could be up in 2 hours with folks.
oh yeah. Well, gentlemen, I gotta get.
All right.
Thank y'all for joining. We'll keep in
Happy
touch. We'll
birthday.
set up. Thank y'all.
We're gonna check in on the wife. Make sure you're not sleeping on the couch.
I will not. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all. I will message y'all. We'll see each other next time. We will discuss the next episodes about the heels.
Real quick. The 27th, I won't be available because I got BFW responsibilities. But any time after that, with the exception of also October, I have my niece's wedding I'm attending in Colorado. So that whole entire weekend, I'll be indisposed.
We will keep in touch and we'll set up a date and then we'll post it and get the world to see.
Yeah, copy.
I appreciate y'all and everyone. No matter what wrestling promotion you watch, no matter who your favorite is, love one another and just love professional wrestling, y'all. We do. Y'all should do the same. Enough with the bickering, enough with the arguing, enough with the tribalism. Just love professional wrestling. Thank y'all. AA Ron, Chris, Stan P, and Mike. We out.
Cool.
Sweet.
All right, guys.
Later.
Later, y'all.
Lights go down, the bell's about to ring. Aaron's in the booth talking about everything from WWE to you, classics and the rest. You know he's got the passion and he's bringing you the best. Aaron loves wrestling. Feel